All right, so get ready, because today we're diving into a world where, well, it's metal, it's basically the career of a drop forging hammer worker.
Ooh, yeah, no, those are some powerful words. Powerful job, too.
Totally. And we've got RoleCatcher to thank for all the intel today. They're kind of like, the career whisperers,
Yeah.
giving us the inside scoop on what it takes to not just make it, but really thrive in this field.
And it's a field that's honestly more relevant now than ever. Everyone's freaking out about automation, robots taking over, all that.
Right, right.
Well, what's interesting is that RoleCatcher's data, it kind of tells a different story.
Okay, so spill it. What's the deal with these drop forging hammer workers? What are they actually doing all day?
All right, so picture this. Huge machinery, metal's practically glowing, it's so hot, and these massive hammers, they call them dies, just slamming down with incredible force.
Dies. Okay, so we're not talking about your average, household hammer here.
No, 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 this is like industrial strength stuff. We're
Yeah.
talking shaping metal for airplanes, cars, you name it. Think like deciphering blueprints with super precise measurements. Got to be perfect for something like a jet engine,
Yeah.
that level of detail.
Whoa, okay, yeah, that's some serious stuff. So not your grandpa's toolbox, then?
Definitely not, unless Gramps was forging parts for a rocket ship or something. These dies are like giant custom-made stamps. Got to be engraved perfectly to make the exact shapes they need.
Intense. I bet that kind of precision requires a pretty specific work environment, too, right? Like, what's it actually like to be a drop forging hammer worker?
You hit the nail on the head with that one. It's hot, it's loud, and you are surrounded by some heavy-duty equipment. Safety, that's priority number one. We're talking full gear. Earplugs, safety glasses, you got to be prepared.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like your typical desk job, that's for sure. So with all that in mind, the environment, the physical demands, what's the upside? What's RoleCatcher say about the pros and cons of this whole career path?
Well, there's a reason they have all those safety measures, right? This job, it takes grit, it takes dedication, and companies know that they're willing to pay a good wage for it. And that's what RoleCatcher's data shows. Salaries in this field, very competitive.
Okay, so maybe all that heat and noise is worth it if the paycheck is good. But it can't all be dollar signs, right? What about the downsides?
Oh, for sure. RoleCatcher lays it all out there, doesn't sugarcoat it. It's tough, physically demanding work. And yeah, there are risks. You got to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Hmm.
And some of those tasks, they can get repetitive. Same thing day in and day out. It's all about balance. Weighing those pros and cons, figuring out if it really fits what you're looking for.
Finding that balance, figuring out if you're cut out for it, because it sounds like you got to be tough for this one. But, we've got the basic idea now, the overall picture. But RoleCatcher, they seem to hint that there's more to this whole career path than meets the eye. They talk about different specialties and stages. One that caught my eye was production and processing. What's the deal with that? So this whole production and processing thing, it's got to be more than just like whacking metal all day, right? What's the breakdown? What does it actually look like?
Yeah, you're right on the money with that one. It's way more than meets the eye. We're talking about the entire journey here. Raw materials. You're there. Finished product. You see it through. You're a crucial part of the team, making sure those red-hot pieces are flowing through each stage, no hiccups along the way.
Sounds like you need a sharp eye for that, catching any little mistake.
Absolutely. Spotting defects, understanding the heat treatments, the finishing touches. Each product's got its own little quirks.
Like conducting an orchestra, but with, scorching hot metal. Got to make sure it all comes together.
Exactly.
But okay, let's back up for a sec. RoleCatcher talks about different career stages too. Where does someone even begin in a field like this?
Well, you're not jumping straight into the deep end, right? No one's handing you the biggest hammer on day one. RoleCatcher really emphasizes those early steps, starting as an assistant, being a sponge, soaking up everything you can.
So like an apprenticeship then, learning the ropes from the pros.
That's the idea. You're shadowing, you're learning the ins and outs, getting used to the heat, the environment. And RoleCatcher, they've got these awesome profiles for each stage. They really paint a picture. You can practically hear the sounds of the forge.
That's cool, soaking up the atmosphere too.
Totally. So you start as an assistant, work your way up to operating the machinery, experimenting with different techniques, really honing those skills.
It's like leveling up, like in a video game, but with real world experience, real world rewards. So what's next? You've got the basics down, you've put in the time. Then what?
That's when it gets really exciting.
Yeah.
You move beyond just operating. You become a problem solver. Something goes wrong, a die's not hitting right, the metal's not heating properly. You're the one they come to.
Oh, wow. So you become like the resident expert.
Exactly. And then it's not just about fixing those problems. It's about working with the engineers, figuring out how to make the whole process even better.
So you go from student to master craftsman to like forging engineer or something. That's a heck of a career path.
It is. And RoleCatcher's data shows that those who are always learning, always pushing themselves, they're the ones who really kill it in this field.
So it's not just about the muscle, it's about like using your brain too, having that knowledge. But okay, let's be real for a sec. Even if it is the coolest job ever, finding your way in, that can be a whole other challenge. What's RoleCatcher's take on that whole process? What makes them different from just like scrolling through endless job boards online?
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. You want to get into this field, you know it's competitive, what's RoleCatcher's secret sauce? How do they help you actually land a job? It's got to be more than just hitting up like monster.com.
Way more. They've got this whole get discovered thing. It's pretty wild.
Get discovered. Okay, now you've got my attention. Tell me more. So instead of you doing all the work, endlessly searching, sending out resumes, hoping for the best, you create a profile on RoleCatcher, put your skills out there, your experience, all that, and get this, their network of employers. They can actually find you.
Hold on, back up. So the companies are coming to you? That flips the script.
Exactly. Think of it like your own personal headhunter. But instead of a person, it's AI doing the heavy lifting.
That's pretty slick, especially in a field like this. Gotta stand out from the crowd.
For sure. And the employers, they're actively searching, looking for the best fit. RoleCatcher just helps them cut through all the noise, connect with the right people.
Okay, that's huge. No more resume black hole. But let's say you get that contact, you're moving forward. Does RoleCatcher just, like, peace out at that point?
Nope. They're with you every step of the way. Even when it comes to, the interview.
Which, let's be real, that can be the most stressful part.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But RoleCatcher, they've got your back. They have this whole database of potential interview questions, and it's all tailored to the specific job, the industry. You're going in prepared.
Man, I wish I had that when I was starting out. So many times I just froze up, not knowing what to say.
It makes a world of difference, believe me. Being able to walk in there confident, knowing you're ready for whatever they throw at you.
Preparation is key, that's for sure. So as we wrap things up here, what are the big takeaways you want our listener to walk away with?
I think the biggest one is, automation's changing things, everything's evolving. But in a field like drop forging, those skilled workers, they're still in high demand. If anything, that demand's growing. But it's not just about, being strong anymore. You got to have the brains, too, the technical know-how, the problem-solving skills. You got to be adaptable.
That blend of brains and brawn, but with a high-tech upgrade. And that's where RoleCatcher comes in, right? They're giving you the tools, the guidance to navigate this whole world.
Absolutely.
It's like having a career GPS, basically. So for our listener out there, maybe they're thinking, hey, drop forging sounds kind of awesome. What's the next step?
I'd say dive into RoleCatcher's website, see what they're all about. They've got tons of info on different career paths, what you can expect to earn, all that good stuff.
And hey, don't be afraid to, metaphorically speaking, get your hands a little dirty, do some digging, talk to people in the industry, maybe even visit a forge, see it in action.
Nothing beats that firsthand experience, right?
Yeah.
It could spark something in you, you never know.
Couldn't agree more. So on that note, we'll leave you with this. If you're looking for a career that's challenging, where you're working with your hands, building something real, maybe drop forging is calling your name. It's where precision meets power, where skilled workers are literally shaping the world around us, one piece of metal at a time.
And with tools like RoleCatcher, who knows what you can accomplish?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, keep diving deep.